Hello everyone, and welcome back to another playthrough of Hellboy the board game from Tinderloss Gaming. This is our second scenario, second case file that we're going to be playing through today. We are going to be playing through case file 252019, Missing Persons. First of all, thank you for watching. This is a new channel that I put together for just all things gaming. RPGs will be coming. I'm going to get set up to play some online gaming, and also board games such as Hellboy, card games such as Arkham Horror LCG. I'm a bit of a Lovecraft mythos fan, so expect to see games in that sort of vein hitting the channel soon. So thank you for joining us. This is not a tutorial. This is me just playing through solo, making mistakes, trying not to get killed, trying to defeat the big bad baddie, and yeah, just having fun, rolling some dice, moving some models around, and just generally having a bit of fun. So we are going to be going with the same set of characters we used in the eviction notice scenario. So we've got, as our big bad goodie, if you like, we've got Horned Hellboy. I just love the version of this model. Equipped with the Ancient Blade as a requisition. He's got armor-piercing ammo, deep pockets, and Hellboy's pistol. So these are both his starting items. So here's the bruiser. Here's the guy that's going to go and punch things in the face. So we've got him as one of our three characters. We've also got Abe Sapien, who was a bit of a star in the last game actually, to be fair. His harpoon does some damage. He was nearly knocked out, but he managed to make it through. He's same as Hellboy. He's got some armor-piercing armor for one requisition, and he's starting cards with the harpoon in his sidearm as well. He is our ranged guy. He's pretty decent. He's not too shabby in melee as well either, to be fair to him. But he's generally our go-to ranged guy. Special rules, got precision shot, which is really good for him. We didn't use it too much last time, but anyway, there we go. So that's him. And then we've got, as our sort of investigator, examiner, clue getter, Johann Kraus, who has got a warding talisman for 3 requisition, which takes us to the 7 requisition, which we're allowed as 3 characters. I'm still getting used to playing him. I don't really understand. I mean, I know obviously he's after the clues and stuff, but yet to find sort of the niche for Johann. But hopefully we will this game. So moving straight back on to what we're playing today. We are playing Missing Persons, and I'll read out the information on the case file card. It says, Acre Falls appears precisely once in a Acre Falls appears precisely once in Bureau records, given as the birthplace of Pollyanna Rook, executed for witchcraft in 1693. See file 4188. Aside from that, it seems entirely unremarkable in matters of the occult, just another small town. Now, however, it's come to our attention that over the past 3 months, 7 people have been reported missing in and around the town. The dates and the times of their disappearances align precisely with the Vanderhorn cult kidnappings 100 years ago. Coincidence? We hope so. A witness claims to have seen one of the missing persons being taken to an abandoned farmhouse on the outskirts of Acre Falls. Head out there and see what you can uncover. We never found out what the Van Horns were up to. Let's hope you can solve this case in time too. The challenge rating is medium, and the duration is long. We have got the Deck of Doom all set up over here with the irrelevant cards and icons, and also the cards for the agents. We've got the encounter cards set up over here. Like I said last time, some people like to put these on the board, but there is a particular spot on the deck on the player board there, so that's where I put them. We've done the board layout as per instructions, so that's that. So that's where we are in regards to that case file, or that part of the case file. Then let's just have a look here, see what it says. The farmhouse isn't hard to find. It gives you bad vibes as soon as you see it. As you approach, you can hear chanting from inside. Deciding there's no use in hanging around, you burst the door in. Good old Hellboy. You find yourselves face to face with a trio of hooded figures. Cliched much? Beneath the hoods you can clearly see broad amphibian features. Oh great, these guys. Spawn 3 transforming frog monsters in the starting room, 1 in each area other than the starting area. Okay, so we're going to go 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. And prepare the minion slots as follows. So minion A, we've got transforming fog monsters, which is, let's have a quick look through the minions. I'm sure I've got a transforming fog monster here somewhere. Let's have a look at that one. There we go. So Minion A is transforming frog monster. This little dude could potentially turn into a rampaging dude. He's not that great. It's 2 move, 1 resilience, 4 health. Pretty easy to kill. Melee attack of 4. Hopefully we should be able to kill him straight away. A rampaging frog monster, I think was that one there. Hopefully. There we go. That's a rampaging frog monster. They're pretty decent. 2 move, 2 resilience or armor if you like, 6 health, melee attack of 5, paralyzing tongue. They're quite nasty. Then Minion C is an armed frog monster. Which are these dudes? Again, 2 move, 2 resilience, 6 health, 7 melee attack, so just 1 better than the previous ones, and he's got counter attack as well if you try and hit him in your go. And then finally we've got the venomous frog monster. They're nasty because they've got a ranged and a melee attack as well. Okay, so that's where we're at with those dudes. So it says begin the first round. If an agent moves into an area containing a point of interest, flip this card. So that's what we need to look out for. Interestingly, on this in this scenario, we've got the impending doom track is a standard. It's going to go off at we've got a trigger their point at 6. There are no clue markers on this, so the investigation track we're not going to get a lot. And obviously we've set up Hellboy, Johan and etc. and Abe all in their threat order as well, so we should be good to go on those. So let's get back to the main game. And we will begin ready to start turn 1. Okay, so first turn, first round, first thing we need to do is go into the enemy phase. And obviously we do have enemies on the table in the 3 transforming frog monsters, so let's get back to the table. So first thing you need to do with a transforming frog monster is when this enemy is activated, we roll a yellow dice, and on a roll of a 1, it's removed and replaced with a rampaging frog monster. So we'll start off with this one here. Let's see what it does. Yes, he turns into a rampaging frog monster, so we'll get one of those. Put him on the table. Put him back. Then we'll go for this one here. Nope. And then the final one. Yes. Okay, so that's got a bit more interesting. Actually, we'll that's fine. But we should actually do their actions all in one go. So once he's transformed, he will come into here and move because he hasn't got a melee attack, and he will engage Hellboy, who is obviously at the top of our tracker. So Hellboy is the target, so Hellboy now moves to the bottom of the tracker, and disarmed frog monster here is going to attack Hellboy. So a rampaging frog monster, he has got a melee attack 5. He's got paralysing tongue. If a skull is rolled when testing defense against the enemy attacks, the agent discards an action cube in addition to the normal effects of the skull result. So that's fine. Let's see what Hellboy gets. Hellboy's defense is orange, and he's trying to take off. He's trying to negate a 5 wound attack. Do we want anybody to help him out? No, let's take a risk on it. Let's go for it and see how Hellboy does. Okay. 2 and 2 blanks, and we get the BPRD sign. Nothing for defense there, but obviously the BPRD means we can choose it for anyone, and I think I'm going to go with a re-roll, which means I can re-roll these 2 here. Hopefully we get enough. Oh, 4. So Hellboy is going to take 4 wounds. Let's get 4 random ones off the card here. Go 4 of these, and they go on Hellboy's card, face down for the time. But 1, in fact, not 4. That would have been really catastrophic this turn. So Hellboy's taken 1 wound. We then move on to this transforming frog monster. That says, yeah, so he doesn't do anything. He's just going to stand there and not attack anything. And then finally this rampaging frog monster, because Abe is now at the top of the threat list. Abe is going to be targeted, so Abe will move back now. Back of the queue, Johan becomes the next attacker, and then this frog monster is going to go into here and attack Abe. Now we're quite lucky here because in each space you can have a maximum of 6, total of 6 characters or scenery that all adds up to 6, but we've only got 5 in here at the moment. Abe, he's got yellow defense, so he will get 3 yellow dice and obviously the effect dice. Abe is a bit weaker, so I am going to go 1 cube from Johan to upgrade one of his dice to an orange. Do I let Hellboy help as well? Quite early in the game, it's 5 health. I am going to, controversially, press and give 1 an assist from Hellboy as well. So it's going to go to 2 orange and 1 yellow. I don't really want Abe taking too much damage this early on. So let's see what we get. Ooh, not too bad. It's not great either. So he's gonna take 2 damage. So 2 random wounds that are going to go on Abe's card. Ouch! This started off quite tastily. Okay, so there we go. That's Abe done, or that's the monsters done. That's the end of the agent phase. The enemy phase. We're now going to go into the agent phase, and we can choose in order how many, what we do here. It's usually nice to get set up a little bit to start off with, but this game is this case file I've got straight into the meat of stuff. So Hellboy's got 2 actions, Abe has got 3 actions, and Johan has got 2. So let's go with Hellboy first of all. He's going to use his ancient blade. He's going to use his ancient blade for 1. His Ancient Blade, he gets a fight of 3 red. 3 red. And his effect dice. And when we use the Ancient Blade, I get to upgrade or do 1 upgrade. So one of those is going to go from a red to a black, which is the best we can do. Got a resilience of 2, this dude. So we need to hit hard. Let's see. That's 5 in total, and we get to choose. If you roll on the Ancient Blade, right, first of all, on the Ancient Blade, if you roll a BPRD symbol when you roll, which we did, you can double the result of 1 test dice in addition to any other outcome. So we're going to double the 6 or the 3 to a 6, and then obviously we're going to choose times 2 as well. So I would say that's 3, 6, 6 in total, plus 3 is 9, plus that is 11. More than enough to kill the rampaging frog monster for from 1 hit. Good old Hellboy. And he's going to do the same thing with his relic blade again. So another action from Hellboy. Same dice because he gets to automatically upgrade 1. And we'll go from there. See what he can do. Oh, not so good this time. So first of all, the 3 is going to be cancelled out by the skull because that's what it does. And then we do 2 resilience, which is nothing, because obviously, well, we do 2 damage, but it's got 2 resilience. We're not going to do anything. And the rampaging, it's when you roll defense, his special rule, so that doesn't apply. But we do nothing to that rampaging frog monster, which is a bit disappointing. So that's Hellboy, all out of action cubes. We've got Johan and Abe next. Abe is going to carry on where he sort of left off with in the last game. He's going to spend 1 action cube to do a harpoon attack, which is a melee attack. Now Abe's melee attacks are orange. He gets 3 orange dice plus the effect dice, and he has a similar thing here. When he uses his harpoon, upgrade 1 dice on each fight test using this weapon. So he's going to move 1 of those to a red. We need to see Abe hit quite hard here to try and take this rampaging frog monster out. So that's not too bad. So let's have a little look-see. So that 2 is going to be automatically negated by the resilience. So we're going to do 2, 4, 5 damage on that rampaging frog monster. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got 1 left. Not too shabby with his harpoon. Abe's going to do the same thing again. We're doing it all. I'm going to go for it. So same dice, 2 orange, 1 red, and the effect dice. That is more than enough to kill it. That 2 is negated, and then we do 6 damage. You only needed to do 1 effectively. So that's him gone. Which is good. So we can take those off. And Abe has got 1 action left. Now if we flick over to Abe's character card, we can see that I gave him armor piercing ammo as a requisition. So he's going to spend his last action card, or his last action cube, to flip over the armor piercing ammo, which is really decent. It ignores 2 resilience effectively, which is good. He did lose it in the last game. He ran out of ammo, but he's now set with his armor piercing ammo. And then we've got Johan, who's still got 2 actions left. Let's have a look, see what he's got on his card. Nothing on the board to examine. Projection, nothing to explore at the moment. Possess, we could have possessed something there. or 2, but he's not really got anything to do. He has got a pistol, a ranged weapon. His range is orange, so he could have a little pot shot. He could have a little pot shot at the transforming monster. Let's just move him there, a bit more cinematic. Yeah, he's going to do a ranged attack at the transforming frog monster, who's got a resilience of 1 and 4 health. Now he gets orange. He gets orange dice on his ranged, with obviously the effect dice. So that's 1, costs him 1 to obviously do the fight action or the ranged action, and then he's going to spend his last cube upgrading one of those to a red to see if he can put some damage on this little dude. So 1 is negated by the resilience, and then we needed to do 4, which means back we've done 5. So that is that transforming frog monster gone. We're still in the agent phase. Okay, I don't think it costs an action. So let's just go back to the character so I can explain what I'm doing, or what I'm thinking about doing. Hellboy has got deep pockets as a starting card. It says flip this card during the agent phase to draw from the bottom of the requisition deck until you find a grenade, a ranged or a sort of lucky card. Keep it and return any others to the deck. So that's what we're going to do. I don't think that's costing an action. It doesn't say spend an action, because that's what they usually say. So we've got the requisition deck here. We're going to draw. First thing actually is a lucky charm, which is the symbol we're looking for. And lucky charm is flip this card to ignore all damage on your agent by a single attack or game effect, which is quite cool. So Hellboy's going to get that. And also then we're going to flip deep pockets. See what that says. On the flip side, it says dig for something useful. Discard this card during the agent phase to draw the bottom card from the deck, and same symbol. So you get a sort of couple of dips at it, which is quite cool. But you've got a lucky charm. Ignore all damage taken from a single effect. I've got to remember about that, because that's really cool. So we're then going to go into the rest phase. Now the rest phase, we can only do that if there are no enemies on the board, which there aren't. We've killed them all. But if we do take rest, there's nothing actually that says we put a reaction marker on this card if the following trigger marker. We do advance the impending doom though if we do take rest. I'm going to do it. I am going to do it because Abe is not great. So Abe, in the rest phase, it says taking time. Only if there are no enemies on the board. Can choose one rest action. Investigate a clue counter, which is none of. But Abe is going to do what's called recuperate. Roll 2 red dice and heal damage equal to that score. So Abe is going to do that. Oh, lovely. Good old roll in there. So 2 blanks. So Abe recuperates absolutely nothing. Hellboy is going to do the same thing because we're in the rest phase now. We're doing something, so we might as well make the most of it. Hellboy is going to recuperate his 1. Takes that off. Johan doesn't need to do that. We could remove all frog spawns and infirmos for a room, which we don't have at the moment. We do reset target priority. Okay. Oh no, that's an action. Advance impending doom. We pick one of those. We pick one of those. So actually, yeah, we're going to get Johan to reset the target priority, so everybody goes back to how they were at the start of the game with Hellboy in front, Abe, etc. So we have done the rest phase. We'll now move on to the Doom phase. In the Doom phase, straight away, pretty straightforward. You take the top card of the deck, the Doom deck, and see what's there and read it out, and then we go from there. So, deck of Doom, we're going to get Heavy Moon. This card targets the area that contains the most agents. Use target priority if necessary. Each agent in that area is targeted by a melee attack with a melee value of 6. If they suffer damage, they are stunned. Oh my god. Okay, right. So each area target the one that contains the most. So that's going to be all 3 of them. Brilliant. Okay, so let's do that first of all, and we can go. We'll use target priority as the way we do it. So Hellboy is going to take an attacks value of 6. He gets to roll his orange defense dice and see what he gets. Let's get 6. So that's 2 times 2 is 4. So he takes 2. So good job we did rest, otherwise he'd be up to 3. So that's 2 blank or 2 face down tokens on Hellboy. And remember, at the moment we haven't refreshed our cubes, our action cubes, because we haven't got to that point yet. So nobody's got anything that they can spend. I could spend the lucky charm to ignore damage on my agent, which is Hellboy. I'm not going to. I think it's a bit early for that. We have got Abe next, who's got a defense of yellow, and he's taken 6 damage, which could be bad for Abe if he doesn't roll well here. 3. So he's going to take 3 damage. Oh god, that means he is all the way across his flipping counter already. So Abe has taken 5 in this turn alone. So we're going to start flipping in a minute. Oh, that's bad. That is really bad. That is not good. Okay, Johan. He's got a defensive orange, which is much better. Johan has got the warning talisman as well, which we need to remember. Let's give us something to aim at. Right, okay, that's good. It isn't good, but it is good. So he's got his warding talisman, and again I'll just move you across to his character sheet so you can see what I'm talking about. Warding talisman, top right hand corner there. If you roll a skull when making a test, re-roll the effect dice and use the new result. If the new test result is also a skull, discard this card. So that's what we need to do. Re-roll the effect dice, and it gets him a re-roll, which he's not going to do. Sorry, that was a 2. So he's actually saved 5, so he only takes 1 face down. Abe is the one in trouble here. Abe is the one in trouble. That was a bad Doom phase for us. That was really bad. Okay, so we're now moving into the end phase. In the end phase, we refresh all of our action cubes. So Hellboy's going to get his 3 back. Abe is going to get his 3 back. And Johan is going to get his 3 back. Resolving Infernos, there are none. Resolving Frog Swarms, there are none. And any other effects, we are good. We then, technically, we move into the enemy phase. And as we can see from the board, there is nothing on the board to worry about doing in the enemy phase. So we effectively skip that. And we go to the agent phase. And we can then start to pick who we want to go. Okay. Right, which way are we going to go? Which way are we going to go? I think we're going to head up. We're going to head up into this corner here. So Johan is going to spend an action cube to move to there and do a free action, which is examined, or sorry, which is called technically explore an adjacent room which has got a door. So we're going to flip that door open and we're going to flip into this room here. We're going clockwise, so 1 and 2's here, 3 and 4's here. So we flip over an encounter card, which is going to give us a frog swarm and a scenery 2 in this room. So that goes there, and a scenery 2 is going to go in here. And then in number 3, we're going to put a point of interest. Point of interest. And a minion C. A minion C is an armed frog monster. It's digging out a point of interest. Point of interest 2. Actually, we'll flip that over. That could be the point of interest for the time being. We know what it is. That's the point of interest, and actually we'll move that into like a scenery 2. Okay, so it does say on the case file, if an agent moves into an area containing a point of interest, flip this card. So what we're going to do is, because Johan's spent his action and done a free action to open the door, and then we're going to spend 1 from Hellboy to go 1, 2 into here, which means we're then going to flip the case file card, which says you find a carefully arranged pile of skulls within a ring of candles. The setup screams ancient evil ritual, but the skulls don't look so ancient. Doesn't bode well for finding those missing folks. Move this card into the in-play area. During this case, points of interest represent ritual sites. An agent can spend an action while in the same area as a ritual site to destroy it. Remove the point of interest, then reduce the impending doom track by 1. When the agents take time, an agent can investigate a point of interest on the board as a rest action. If they do, they can take 1 insight marker from the information gathered track, placing it on their agent board. Each point of interest can be investigated once per rest phase. Discard this card when the confrontation begins. When the agents take time, an agent can investigate a point of interest on the board. If they do, they can take 1 insight marker from the information gathered track. Well, this is where this game gets a bit confusing, because nowhere yet has it told me to place markers on the information track. Doesn't say at all on the two cards that I've read. No, there's none of the cards tell me to put any. That's why I mentioned it at the start. So that's confusing. If anybody's played this scenario before and there's been an FAQ that I've missed or I've played it wrong, then let me know. But on the 3 cards when I was looking at the setup, nothing actually says about putting any tokens on the information track. Anyway, that's where we're at. So we need to destroy these ritual sites, and when we take time, we can investigate 1 at a point of interest as well. I'm just going to pause there for a second and reread my documents, and then we'll restart in a second. Okay, just had a quick look, reread the case file. Again, can't see anything on there in regards to the information gathered track, so I'm assuming I'm playing it right. I have just made a quick amendment though. The when you take rest, when you do rest, you do advance the impending doom. On the summary sheet, it looks like it's an action, but just read the main rules, and it does say clearly you move the impending doom track once because it's costly. So I've adjusted that and moved it one because we did take time. Okay, so Hellboy has got 2 actions left. He is not going to do anything just yet, though. Actually, he is. No, he isn't. No, he isn't. Johan is going to move 1 action into there. And then his 3rd action, he's going to remove that frog swarm because they're annoying. So that's that. So he can go to there. Abe is going to spend an action to go 1, 2 to there. And then his 2nd action, he's going to shoot his pistol, his sidearm, at the armored frog monster using his armor-piercing ammo. So Abe gets 3 red dice. 3 red dice. And now, do we want to try and make sure we kill this thing in 1 shot? Hellboy's got 2 left, so 1 to move, 1 to punch with his relic blade. Is Abe going to do anything more? Abe's not going to be able to help him if Hellboy moves in. So actually, yes, finally, Abe is going to use his final action cube to upgrade one of these dice to a black, just to see and try and make sure we take it out in 1 shot. So if we go, we can use anything on there. Let's do ×2, which is that. So 4, 5, 6, 7. Ignoring the resilience, so that armoured frog monster is dead because he's only got 6 health. We ignore his resilience with the armor piercing ammo. So that's him done. So that's all it is for Abe. And then Hellboy is going to move in for 1, and then he is going to spend an action whilst in the same area to ritual site to destroy it. So he's going to destroy that for his last action, which does reduce the impending doom track by 1. I don't get an insight marker for that, because the insight marker bit says you have to do that when it's in the rest phase. So I'm assuming I'm not going to get a rest insight marker for that. Okay, that's it for the agent phase. We're all spent. That can be moved over there to the discard pile for the encounters. So that's that room. That's that room cleared. That was pretty successful. He says, Abe. Okay, so let's now move on to the rest phase. And clearly, in this rest phase, I think we're going to have to rest, because otherwise Abe is going to be dead meat. So we'll move across to the main game again. Rest phase. And let's go to the actual page for rest phase, because that's a bit more clearer than the summary sheet. So if the players take time, which is effectively what we're doing, carry out the following steps: rest actions, agents prepare, advance impending doom. So rest actions: investigate, which we're not going to do, we don't need to do that; recuperate, which is what we are going to do; secure, which is again what we're not going to do. So let's go to the recuperate. Let's go with Abe first. 2 red dice. Come on, 3. So that's not too bad. He takes 3 wounds off, and then Hellboy, who's currently on 2 wounds, just a 1 wound off. Better than nothing, but still not great. So that's us done. Johan doesn't... Oh, he's got 1 wound. So Johan is going to recuperate. Blimey, Johan doesn't like being wounded. He would have removed 5 of those. Agents prepare. Once any rest actions have been completed, the agents prepare to get moving. At this point, agents can freely trade any requisitions cards they have. I think I'm quite happy with where things are at the moment. We don't need to trade anything. Then each agent can move to an explored area on the board as long as they do not move through any unexplored areas. Ooh, now that's good. That's good. So the can move to any explored area on the board as long as they move through unexplored areas. So an area, just for clarity, because this is important, an area is, I can find it in the book, I've been through this before, just want to make sure I've got it. Why is it you can never find it when you're looking for it? We did actually have a little diagram, which was very useful. Okay. So there we go. So that is defines an area and a room and a wall and a door, etc. So an area is the smaller area, the room is the larger area. So when it says on page 19 that we can move to any area, any explored area, what I'm going to do, and the reason why I was sort of long-winded about that is because they're going to go over here. And we advance the impending doom track by 1 because we've rested, or we've taken a rest phase. There we go. That's it for the rest phase. We then move on to the doom phase, which hit us really hard the last time. We don't need another card like that. That is going to be not good. So let's draw from the deck of doom, which is here. And we get bird at the window, advance the impending doom track. The lead agent sets up a sinister bird in any explored room that does not contain any agents. So we'll advance the impending doom track by 1, and we've got to set up a sinister bird in any explored room. Okay, bear with me for a second whilst I dig out the sinister bird. Okay, welcome back. We have sorted the sinister bird situation out. Initially, I was looking for an enemy card with sinister bird on it, but there wasn't one. But obviously, digging through, that's part of what they've called the new rules. So it says this card features the rules for sinister birds. If they are placed on the board, refer to the rules on the back of this card. Slightly annoyingly, I didn't realise we were going to have to put some birds in this, but so they're not painted, but that's the sinister bird model there. It doesn't actually come with a character card, so but we'll place him on the board there. And the card reads, like frog swarms, sinister birds are not enemies. They can be removed from the board by anything that would remove a frog swarm. For example, a clear action or a secure rest action. Agents downgrade 1 dice on any test for each sinister bird on the board. So not in their area, not in their room, on the board. In the Doom phase, draw a card from the deck of Doom for each sinister bird on the board. If there are no sinister birds on the board, draw 1 card as normal. In the end phase, if there are 3 or more sinister birds on the board, each one is removed and replaced with a harpy. If there are not enough harpies, the lead agent chooses which sinister birds are replaced. Any others stay as they are. Okay, so that's quite nasty, actually. So we'll put that down there so we know we've got that in play. Actually, we'll just turn it over so we can just read text whenever we need to. Okay, so that was the Doom phase. That's all we've done to advance to impending Doom, and we've set up a sinister board. So we're going to go into the end phase, which is where we are going to refresh our action cubes. So Hellboy gets his back, Johan gets his back, and Abe gets his back. Resolve any infernos, we don't need to do. Resolve any frog swarms, we don't need to do. We don't need to resolve a sinister bird because that's done in the doom phase. So he's going to need to be taken out quite quickly. And then we go into the enemy phase. That's the end of the end phase. We go into the enemy phase. There are no enemies on the board, as previously described. We don't need to do anything. Bird's not considered an enemy, so we're straight back into the agent phase, and we can go from there. So let's have a little look see. Well, Johan, he seems to be my main go-to clearer outer, so we're going to spend one action cube for Johan to move, and then one action to clear that stupid sinister bird off the table. Don't like him being on there. It just wastes actions. We'll see what's there for. That's it for Johan for the time being. Doesn't really matter who does this, but Hellboy will do the open the room bit, explore. So going clockwise is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And so what do we get? We get 1 is nothing. 2 is a scenery 1. So let's just put scenery 1 in there. Go there. Number 3 is a minion D, which is a venomous frog monster. And number 4, which is the same room, a clue. And a frog swarm. Seriously gonna have to read up on these insight markers for this game, because it doesn't seem like it's correct with clues and that coming in, but there we go. We can advance the track, but it's not advancing to anything. Probably my mistake. Which is only going to affect me because they usually give you positive things. Okay, so that's Hellboy's free action. Can you remove a frog spawn while there's somebody in it? I don't think you can. Yeah, a clear action. You can only do it if there's no enemies in your area. So let's pay 1 for Abe to move into there. Let's pay a second one for him to do his shot of goodness, using his armor piercing ammo. So he gets red as a matter of course. And the effect dice. Do we want to spend 1 to upgrade it to just make sure we do the uber damage, or he'll get a second shot? He's ignoring resilience. I'm going to just go with the red. Try not to be too greedy. He could get a second shot. Doesn't need the second shot because we're ignoring its resilience. So the 2 means nothing. That 6 is enough to kill it, and 3 over. So that is him gone. So that's that. That's Abe's. Unlike Hellboy, he's going to pay 1 to go 1, 2, and then another 1 to clear out this frog spawn. Johan's going to just try and keep up. 1, 2 into there. 1 action left by Hellboy. It's really annoying me with these insight markers, because what's the point in gathering the clues? There's no insight markers on the card. Usually insight markers give you a hand. Definitely, I've read these cards 3 or 4 times now, and there's nothing in there. Put a reaction marker on this card and its matching trigger marker on the following impending doom, which I've done. Move this card to the in-play area, discard it for confrontation. That's all it says. And then on this one, it didn't say anything about said about the minions begin the first round, so there is nothing about insight markers. Anyway, stop being obsessed, MB, with insight markers. So both Abe and Hellboy have got 1 action left, so Abe is going to move just to try and keep up, so he's there, and I think we're going to call it there. I don't think Hellboy needs to spend his last action. What can he do? No, he's not going to spend his last action. That's going to be it. It's going to stay on his card though, because he could use it. So we're now going to move on to the rest phase. Do we rest again? I think we probably can afford to, in all honesty, because we're a bit of a distance away from the trigger point. And I probably want to be as much help as we can going into this last little bit, or potentially last little bit. I could be wrong. So in the rest phase, I am going to rest. Hellboy is going to do a rest action, which he takes his last wound off. Abe needs to roll well here, hopefully. 2 to take off. Yes, it clears him. So Abe is now at full health. Johan doesn't need to do anything. That's all done, but we do need to move the tracker along one because we're getting closer to the thingy-jiggy. So we're going to move into the doom phase now. The sinister seagull, the sinister bird, sinister seagull is off the board, so we don't need to worry about that. We just need to draw our card and see what we get. Let's hope it's something nice. Rumbling underfoot. Put this card in play. During the next agent phase, agents can only move up to 1 area as part of a move action, even if they have a rule that would normally let them move further, such as Abe's agile special rule. At the end of the agent phase, shuffle this card back into the deck of doom. Okay, so it's in play. Rumbling underfoot. We can only move up to 1 area as part of a move action. So good job we did put them there. Good job we did put them there. So that's the doom phase. Doesn't say about moving the doom track on, which is good. We then go into the end phase, which means we get to reset all of our actions. Abe's going to get his back. Johan's going to get his back. Then we go into the enemy phase, which will be very quick because we've managed to clear all the enemies out. We've kept on top of that quite nicely. So it now means we move into the agent phase, and then we get to see what happens in the agent phase. So first things first, as a free action, Abe is going to examine or open the door, explore, should I say, try and use the correct terminology. So 1, 2, 3, 4 will be the list. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So what are we going to get? In 1 we're going to get a minion A, which is a transforming frog monster. In point 2 or area 2 we're going to get an Inferno. In point 3 we're going to get a minion D, which is a venomous frog monster. Point of interest 3, so let's just put that in as a 3. We know it's a 3. And a scenery 4. Scenery 4. and it's a ritual site, so I'll leave this in play. Add 1 to the melee value of any minions that are in this room. Okay, let's put that there then, so we know what we're doing. That room. Point of interest 3. And I'll check that quickly. Okay, we have started a very quick look through because it was a bit confusing when we got that card out that said point of interest 3, scenery 4. So for me in my head that works through that there's 7, a total of 7 in that room, if that makes sense. Whereas the rules say you can only have 6 as a maximum, so 1 is a character, and then obviously each thing is given an assigned number. So scenery 4 plus a point of it's in brackets. I'm playing it as though scenery 4 is the thing that's taking up the room, and I'm just putting that marker in number 3 as it's just number 3. Okay. So that was Abe's first sort of non-action action. We can only move 1 area at the moment, so we're not going to be able to get there. So I am going to activate Hellboy first. 1, who's going to move his 1 into there. And then he's going to Ancient Blade or Transforming Frog Monster for 3 red initially, but we know using the Ancient Blade one of those gets upgraded, and we also know that the Transforming Frog Monster has only got 1 resilience with 4 health. That's more than enough, so that's the 1 resilience, so we do a total of 6 damage to it. So he's dead. Abe is then going to use his move, only 1 area, so he's going to move into there, and he is going to shoot at the venomous frog monster. So we know that a venomous frog monster has a resilience of 2, health of 6, and it's got a ranged attack as well, and a special trigger when we're rolling to defend against it. But Abe is going to shoot at him with his armor piercing ammo. So he gets red dice as normal, so he gets his 3 red dice. Hellboy's got 1 action left and he doesn't really need to use it, so he's going to support Abe by upgrading one of those red to black, and then we'll shoot at the venomous frog monster. Resilience of 2. So that's the 2. So we've done 2 points of damage to it. That's not great. That's not great. Oh, that was a shot as well. Sorry, that's his shot. I'm gonna be greedy. I'm gonna be leave the 2. So we do 4 points of damage to it because it's got. Oh no, the resilience is ignored. Armor piercing ammo. But yeah, so 6 in total. 6 is enough to kill it because we ignore the resilience. That's an awesome piece of ammo. Then Johan, he's going to try and well, he's going to move 1 to there. Because there's a clue there, I might do something. I don't know. I'm gonna examine with Johan, so he gets his 3 red dice. So he's moved 1 there, 1 to examine, and then 1 to upgrade one of these dice. and we'll do that. So he gets 5 in total. 5 in total. Can he do anything else? Deductive reasoning, and he didn't roll the BPRD. So on a 3 to 5, discard the clue and advance the information gathered. So let's just do that. He's going to move it to there. Abe's got 1 action left. He can't do anything, can't move anymore. I'm not going to shoot. I could shoot the scenery to try and remove that so that other people can get in there, because at the moment only 2 people can get in there. I'm not going to do that because it risks him actually running out of ammo, so why would I do that? So that's the end of the agent phase. So this rumbling underfoot goes back into the Doom deck and we shuffle it. So there we go. That is the Doom deck all shuffled. That's the end of the agent phase. We go into the rest phase. They're not going to rest this time round, so we can skip right over the rest phase. And we can move on to the Doom phase, which is one of our favourite phases. To see what we get from the deck of Doom. So we are going to get... Seriously, I just oh, what? I've literally just shuffled those. Okay, rumbling underfoot, can only move 1 area. Okay, that's not too bad. It's not moved on. It's not actually too bad. We can only move 1 area. We only actually need to move 1 area. Yeah. Actually, reading the BPRD case file, it says if all areas of the board have been explored, which is what we've done, the confrontation begins. Us exploring this last area has done it. So we should be flipping. We actually should be flipping into the confrontation. Okay, let's do that. I'll get the confrontation board set up, and then we'll go from there. Okay, we've just had a very quick flip of the card, and it's not a confrontation. Actually, it's moved on a different section. So this is the card that we flipped. It says you've been through the whole building, but it still feels like you've not seen it all. Then you remember outside you. Hang on. Okay, actually no confrontation. We flipped the card, and it says here. You've been through the whole building, but it still feels like you've not seen it all. Then you remember outside you saw a hatch in the floor, a cellar maybe. Set up a new part of the game board as shown separate from the current game board. Deal a face down encounter card into the 2 rooms as shown. So that's what we've done here. This is the new part of the game board. This is the access point, 2 encounter cards there. The room containing the area marked access counts as already having been explored. An agent can move between the starting area and the area marked access by spending 2 action cubes. They can also move between the 2 parts of the game board during the agent's prepared step of the rest phase. Move this card into the in-play area. So we're going to do that. And then the new card that's face up on the deck, the case file deck, it says, yeah, okay, you've seen enough. you're not going to find these missing folks. They've either been turned into frog monsters or used as sacrificial fuel for these rituals. Screw the mission, now it's all about revenge. If all 3 ritual sites are destroyed, flip this card. If the confrontation begins, discard this card. Well, we've actually only removed one so far. We've got 1 there, so we've got to find another one. So let's just keep a track. That's 1 there that we've actually managed to get across. So a little bit of a wider board angle. Apologies, but the dice tray is going to take up a little bit of room, but we're going to move back across and out of that way in a second. So that was it for the agent phase. Yeah, that was it for the agent phase. So we can move Rumbling Underfoot back into the Doom deck. Give it a shuffle. Oh my god, if I get that again, it's going to be annoying. Just to show I am shuffling the things. Little bit of a cat weasel cut. Love a cat weasel cut. And then we go back there for the deck of Doom. Rest phase. No. I don't want to advance the Doom. You could use the Doom to move across, but I'm not going to. Doom phase. Hopefully it's going to be something not too bad. So let's see what we get. We get unexpected attack. Advance the impending Doom track. Spawn a minion B in the same area as agent whose target priority is at the back of the queue. Okay, so first things first. Doom deck or the impending Doom goes away, so we're 1 away potentially from the confrontation. We don't know that. Spawn a minion B, which is a rampaging frog monster in the same area as the target. His priority marker is that's Johan, so he's going to be there. But, that's quite cool. Yeah, that's very cool. But, let's see. Okay, good job. There's a pause button on these cameras and recording devices. So we're not actually in the confrontation. What we've done, or what I've done, is I've flipped over the card and I'll read it out. You've been through the whole building, but it still feels like you've not seen it all. Then you remember outside you saw a hatch in the floor, a cellar maybe. Set up a new part of the game board as shown, separate from the current board. Deal a face down character encounter card into the 2 rooms as shown. So this is the new bit of the board here. That's an access area, which I'll come to in a second. There's the 2 encounter cards there. The room containing the area marked access counts as having already been explored. An agent can then move between the starting area and the area marked access by spending 2 action cubes. They can also move between the 2 parts of the game board during the agent's prepare step for of the rest phase. Move this card to the in-play area. So that's where we are. Had a bit of a jiggery pokery on the screen so we can still see the dice tray. And that's where we got to. That was the agent phase. Abe's got 1 left, but he can't move anywhere anyway. Yeah. No, we're in the Doom phase. My apologies, because we've flipped the unexpected attack card here. So here, I'm getting confused where I am now. Right, so that was the Doom phase. Let's go into the end phase. and we're going to get every one of our action cubes back. So Abe's going to go back to 3, Hellboy's going to go to 3, and Johan is going to go to 3. Then what we're going to do is, that's the end of the end phase. Inferno. We do need to resolve an Inferno this time round. So let's have a quick look at that, page 20. Resolving Infernos. Roll a red dice for each Inferno, so that's what we'll do. Red dice rolls a 1. On a dice of a 1, 2 or a 3, each character in that area, which they're not, takes that much fire damage. Additionally, on a score of a 3, place another Inferno in each adjacent area, so it doesn't go on, it's just going to stay there and cause us a bit of a pain. But there we go, that's that. So that's the end phase. We now move into the enemy phase, and there are enemies. So we've got to resolve this one. We have got a rampaging frog monster on the board. Let's just refresh our memory of what he does. It does move of 2, doesn't need to move. Resilience of 2, health of 6, range of 0, but he's got a melee attack of 5, and obviously he's going to be moving actually, because the target priority is Hellboy. So he's going to move into there and target Hellboy. Let's get back onto the screen so you can see what I'm doing. So moved him from, he was against Johan there, but then he's going to move into there. That's the way I think it works. And obviously then Hellboy's target priority is going to go down. So Abe's going to move up. And then he's going to attack Hellboy. Hellboy gets orange defense and he's attacking us for 5. Now does Hellboy want to use... What's Hellboy going to do next turn? They're quite okay at the minute. I'm going to use one of Hellboy's action cubes to upgrade him. So he's going to be 1 red, 2 orange, and the effect dice. I'm trying to say 5. We don't want to roll. So that's 5 in total, 6 actually with that one. So Hellboy doesn't actually take any damage from the rampaging frog monster, which is good. That's it for the enemy phase. We're now going to move into the agent phase. And let's get Hellboy doing some stuff first and foremost. Big right hook's good, but for two action cubes, when you can hit twice with the ancient blade, I'm sticking with the ancient blade. So 1 dice or 1 action cube. Hellboy's going to get his 3 red as normal for his attack, and we know with the ancient blade that upgrades one of them to a black. Has got 2 resilience, we're not ignoring that. So let's see what Hellboy can do. Well, that should be enough. So the ×2 for that takes it to 6. That's the resilience, so that's 9 in total. That's him gone. Squishy but squishy. That's Hellboy. He's got another action left, but we'll leave that there for the time being. We're going to try and get the ritual. It's just a clear action, isn't it, for the ritual? Or the point of interest. Can spend an action 1 in the same area as a ritual. We're not slowing now, so let's get Johan doing something. So we're going to spend 1 for Johan, who's going to go 1, 2 into there. And then he's going to spend another action as a clear action to remove the second ritual site. Remove the point of interest, then reduce the impending doom track by 1. So they're going to move that back down to 1, which is good. That's awesome. Johan has got a point left, so actually he's going to go 1, 2, back to there. So that's that area clear now. We're pretty much done. Hellboy is going to spend his last action going 1, 2, and Abe is going to go 1, 2, 3 to the start. This is the starting area, so he's going to go there. I'm not going to push him through yet, do I? Actually, he has to spend 2. I think it's about to spend 2 action cubes to go through there, which he can't. Abe's got 1 cube left. Hellboy and Johan are all spent out, so that's going to be the end of the agent phase. Do I rest? No, I'm not going to rest. I'm not going to rest because we're still only 2 away from the trigger point on the impending doom track. So I could do and move them all into that, but I'm not going to ignore the rest. Well, not ignore the rest phase, but there's nothing in the rest phase for us to do. So we're going to move straight on to the doom phase to see what that gives us. Hopefully it'll be kind to us, but we'll see what we get. So doom phase, we get Bad Temper. This card is put into play next to Hellboy's agent board. Each round, one of Hellboy's actions can only be spent to make fight actions. It cannot be spent in any other way. Discard this card when Hellboy suffers an injury or the agents take time. So Hellboy is not a happy bunny at the moment, but you know, it doesn't take him long to take some injury. So he's only going to get 2 actions actually, because there's nothing on the board to fight him at the moment. We're going to move into the end phase. That doesn't actually tell us also to advance the tracker, the impending doom tracker, so that's good. We're in the end phase. We're going to get our actions back. So Johan gets his, Hellboy gets his, Abe gets his 2 back. Got 3 in total. Let's roll for the Inferno. That's a red dice. That's a 1. Nothing happens. Basically, there's no agents in that area. Doesn't spread. So we're all good on that. We move into the enemy phase. There's no point. There is no enemy phase because there are no enemies on the board. So we are straight back into the agent phase. And hopefully we're going to be able to get Hellboy's not going to be able to move across because he only gets 2 actions. So first of all, let's spend two actions from Abe to move him across into the new area, which is here. That's the access area. Johan is going to spend 1 action to go 1, 2. Another action to go 1, which is annoying. Hellboy is going to spend 1 action to go 1, 2. He does have 2 actions left, but as we know from Bad Temper, we can't use. He's only effectively got 1 action cube left because he has to spend 1 on. Can only be used for making a fight action, which we know he can't do. So that's pretty much it for Hellboy. Johan's only got 1 left, which is not enough for him to get across into the new area. So effectively what we're going to do is we're going to call it there for the agent phase. We're not going to use a rest phase as we did last time, so we're going to go straight into Doom phase and see what we get from the Doom deck. Going quite quickly now. So we are going to get the Apocalypse Calls. Advance the impending Doom track twice. Well, as you can see from the Doom board, moving that twice is going to put us up to this trigger point here. So 1, 2, which triggers this card here. So let's see what it says. If the impending doom marker reaches the trigger marker, or if all the agents are knocked out at the same time, skip to the end phase, flip this card at the end of the phase. So we're going to go into the end phase. So that's where we're at the moment. So I'll keep a track of what we've got. Refresh all action cubes. Everybody gets their actions back. We're going to roll for the Inferno. We need to do that in the end phase. It actually goes out, so that's gone. Flip this card at the end of the phase. So that's the end of the phase. We'll flip it over. So the trigger point has been reached. The sound of chanting builds in the rooms around you, and the floor starts to tremble up under your feet. You throw yourselves clear as it erupts upwards, torn aside by a mass of huge writhing tentacles. Immediately reveal and set up all face down encounter cards. Do not set up any points of interest. Each agent suffers 2 damage and is stunned. Then discard this card. Discard this card and discard all case files without resolving them until you reach the last card. Okay, so first things first, we all take 2 damage. So Hellboy's going to take 2 face down damage there. Abe is going to take 2 face down damage there. Johan is going to take 2 face down damage there. We're all stunned, so let's knock us over just so I remember. It says set up all face down encounter cards. So that's going to be from where Abe is. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 is a minion B, which is a rampaging frog monster. 2 is a forbidden tome, which is one of these, I think. One of these. Sure, I saw a forbidden tome around here somewhere. Okay. Well, let's just put that in there as a 2 as a forbidden tome. 3 is a scenery 1, so let's put that in there. 4 is a minion C, which is an armed frog monster. So that's that area done. This area we're going to get, so again let's go from Abe, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 is a minion B, which is a rampaging frog monster. 2 is a clue, which is that. 3 is an inferno and a minion D, so that's that. The minion D is an armed frog monster, and 4 is a clue. That's that. Then discard this card and discard case files until you reach the last card. So there's only 1 active card there, so that's that. So this is the confrontation. Setup as described on page 22. The boss for the confrontation is the Tentacles of Saduhem. Before constructing its behaviour deck, find the explosive arrival card and set it aside. Then resolve the explosive arrival card. The boss's resilience is decreased by 1 for each insight on the confrontation board. No insight markers. For each point by which it would be reduced by 1, add 1 to the score for each attack. So, okay, bear with me a second while I just pause and set up the confrontation. Okay, we've set up the Doom board or the confrontation as follows. So it's got 25 health. We've reset the target priority. and we've put together the appropriate boss's deck. The tentacles are Sadu Hem. It's move of 3, resilience of 5, 25 health, range of 1, ranged attack of 7, melee attack of 10, colossal. It takes up the space of 4 characters in an area, cannot be stunned or hurled. It has a resilience of 2 against attacks that cause fire damage. Where's Liz when you need her? And then devastation. If this enemy moves, place a destruction counter in the area it started in. So it asked us when we were putting the confrontation together to put aside the explosive arrival card and then resolve it. So the explosive arrival card states if he's on the board, ignore it. Otherwise, if borrow cards in play, discard we haven't. Place the boss in the area containing the most agents using target priority if necessary. Well, that's clearly with Johan and Hellboy. All other characters in the area are hurled and a destruction counter is placed in the area. Each character that is hurled suffers 5 damage minus its resilience or for enemies or a score of a defend test against that area. So, okay. Let's sort this out. So that he is going to go, let's move those out of the way for a second. First of all, destruction counter goes into this area. It is going to pop up. Apologies, it's not painted, but I'm just working through the counters at the moment. Let's just move that forward a little bit so you can see it on the table a little bit better. They're not connected, those areas, but just so we've got it all in shot. He's there. Hellboy's already stunned there. Johan was already stunned there. They are going to get hurled first and foremost. So let's see what hurled does, just so we can get it absolutely correct. Hurl into an adjacent area chosen by the agent who attacked or the lead agent. So each other character. So let's say Johan's hurled to there, Hellboy is hurled to there. Each other character in the area they are hurled into suffers damage equal to the roll of a D of an orange dice. Each other character in the area they are hurled into suffers damage. So they're not going to suffer any damage, but they are going to suffer the actual damage from the explosive arrivals. So let's take a test for Johan, who is orange. He does have some action cubes to use. He's taken 2 damage, so I am going to have to spend 1 to upgrade one of those to a red. Try and prevent as much of the 5 damage as possible. Get a re-roll, so let's roll the blank. So he's actually going to take 1 damage from that, which is still not good because he's got 4 and he's taken 3 face down so far. Hellboy rolls orange as well, and he is also going to spend 1 of his action cubes to increase it to a red. Let's see what Hellboy can do. 1 times 2 is 2. Those are 2 are blanks. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to flip the lucky charm to ignore that damage. Flip the lucky charm. When the agents take time, roll a yellow dice and a blank, discard this card, otherwise flip it. Well, I don't think we're going to be taking time anytime soon, so that is the lucky charm pretty much out of the game. I can't afford for him to take 4 damage or 3 damage, so that's them done. And So that's the first bit of it. And then we're now going to move into the boss's behaviour. So let's flip the card and see what happens. Burrow. If the boss is on the board when this card is drawn, remove the boss from the board. If there is no destruction counter in the area, it was in place one. Put this card into play. Whilst this card is in play, the next time the boss will make an attack, it is placed in the lead agent's area before attacking. This is when it's discarded. This card is then discarded. Discard this card and draw another. Okay, so he's on the board, so let's take him off the board. That bit's destroyed. Remove the boss from the board. Put this card into play. Whilst this card is in play, the next time the boss will make an attack, it is placed in the lead agent's area before attacking. Okay, fine. Then we get to move. We go through the minions. Now the rampaging frog monster is the first one to activate because that's minion B. And we've got two of them in the same area or same location really as Abe. So we're going to move. The first one's going to go. They can move two, so he's going to move to there. And Abe is going to defend. I'm stunned. Do I lose? Might have done that wrong for Hellboy. Wouldn't have taken any. Might have done it wrong for Johan from being stunned. Let's have a look. It's up for one downgrade. Yeah, I thought so. So Abe being attacked for 5 damage by the rampaging frog monster. He has yellow dice to defend. One of those is downgraded. Now, because I can't downgrade any further than a yellow, he actually loses. He actually loses a dice. So that's that. 2 dice. Pretty bad, right? So he actually takes away the lowest, but he didn't score any anyway. So he's going to take 5 damage, which is going to be 1, 2, 3 face down, and then 2 of them got to be turned over. So he's going to lose range, right? And then he's going to lose an action cube. So he's going to lose an action cube. That was the first attack. Then this monster's going to go 1, and they can move diagonally. So he's going to go 2 to there because there's no wall or anything like that. I think it's curtains for Abe. Now he also suffers. So he would get 2 dice to defend. And I think when you're outnumbered as well, that does something. This could be curtains for Abe. Let's just have a very quick look. Downgrade 1 dice for each enemy in the target areas. So he gets 3. Let's just work through this. He gets 3. One of them gets downgraded because he is stunned, so that gets taken away. And one of them gets downgraded because of another enemy in the location. So he's rolling 1 dice. Times 2 is nothing. Abe is KO'd. Abe is KO'd. That's him gone. I don't think there's any way of him coming back either. Let's just have a quick look. Oh, great start. So yeah, last ditch recovery. As there's no rest phase, knocked out agents don't automatically come back. Instead, when an agent is knocked out, their player puts one of their action cubes in the area that they were in. So let's just do that. We've done this the other day actually. At the start of the agent phase, each knocked out agent player rolls 3 orange dice if they get a blank. So we'll do that in the agent phase for Abe. These monsters here are now not going to move because they can't. It costs. Do they come through the access point to here? Because it costs an agent 2 to move through there. So let's say that they can go through there, but it costs them their entire action. So 1, 2 to there, 1, 2 to there. So that's it for the enemy phase. We're now going to move on to the agent phase. And there's no monster on the board. He's burrowed. I'll get to him. So there's no rest phase in this either. So Hellboy is going to spend 1 action to stand up. Johan is going to spend 1 action to stand up. And then we're going to see if we can get Abe up and running. 3 orange dice, no blanks. That's what we want. Oh, we got a blank, so Abe is still knocked out at the moment. Good job, really, because there's 3 monsters in there. Can't really do anything. The monster has burrowed. So there is no. Is there still a doom phase in the confrontation? No rest or doom phases. No, there's no rest or doom phases. So we're literally going from the end phase, which is where we're at now. We're going to get our action cubes back. Abe doesn't. Well, I suppose he does till he actually reappears. And we're going to go into the enemy phase. Let's see what this boss is going to do to us. This is going to be a tricky one. Got quite lucky in the confrontation last time round. Don't know if we're necessarily going to be as lucky. So Burrow says, while this card is in play, the next time the boss would make an attack, which is now, it is placed in the lead agent's area before attacking. This card is then discarded. So it's going to pop up here. Discard that card. Doesn't say about placing a destruction token, and then it's going to attack. So I'll take it. We're going to roll a dice. We get an attack. Boss makes a melee attack in there against the agent in their area. So that's Hellboy. So melee attack of 10. A melee attack of 10. Oh my god. Right, so Hellboy gets orange. For his defense, I am going to spend one. Slot grade 1 to a red. Is it 1 or 2? Let's go. Let's go. Let's see what happens. Defending against the melee attack of 10. Not too bad. So 7. So takes 3 face down. 1, 2. He's still alive and kicking. He's got 1 left before he starts flipping. Got 1. thing before he starts flipping. Okay. Right. Then we get the other monsters get to go. So let's say all 4 of them can come through, but it costs them their entire action. 1. No, he wouldn't, because he's going to cost. So, but these 2 would, because all these 3 were in the other room. That's fair. It doesn't really say anything, but he would have moved 1, so he hasn't got enough actions to get through. Okay. We're going to go into the agent phase. And Hellboy is going to try resilience of 5. God. Blimey. So good. Anyway, we can only do what we can do, so let's Ancient Blade it. He's going to get 3 red. As normal. We know it upgrades 1 to a black. We need to roll pretty high here to take some wounds off this 25-point monster. We get a PPRD. That is a good roll. That is a good roll. So the BPRD, double a result of one of them in test dice in addition to any other outcome. So double the result of one of the dice. So we'll take the black one up to a 6 rather than a 3. We'll double it again. And I'm not going to be cheesy and double the 6 to 12. That'd be ridiculous. So we know that the Ancient Blade is going to double that to 6. And then we can get to times 2 it as well to a 6. So that's 12. 12, 15, 17 in total. 17 minus 5 is 12. So he takes 12 wounds. I'm liking that. Let me just go through the calculations again. So the Ancient Blade doubles the 3 to a 6. I'm going to times 2 the 6 again. So that's to the 3 again. So that's 6. So that's 12. That's right, isn't it? Double the test result with 1 die in addition to any other. Yeah, I'm saying it's right. 12, 15, 17. 17 minus 5 is 12. So that takes him down to 25 minus 12 is 13. Boom, Hellboy. Boom, Hellboy. That's his second action. Actually, we can discard Bad Temper because he actually did take some damage when he was hurled and stuff like that. So that's gone. And I'm going to spend his last action. Actually, Hellboy should go to the back of the queue now. Target priority because the monster targeted him. I'm trying to think of all these things. Johan is going to move into the space. 1 action. Should have done that first time round, but anyway, we are where we are. Hellboy is then going to spend his last action to Ancient Blade him, which we know is going to give us the 3 red upgraded 1 to a black, and Johan here is going to spend an action cube to help him as well with 2 black dice. So let's see that again, Hellboy. Let's see that BPRD symbol again. Let's see what we get. 13 wounds left. No! No, 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 no! It's game. Right, so the skull ignores the 3, takes the 3 off, which means we do 4 damage in total. It's got a resilience of 5, so we actually don't do any damage to it. Okay, right, fair enough. That's the way it is. So that's Hellboy all done. Johan is going to shoot. He's going to shoot the dude. So shooting. Downgrade 1 die for each other character in the target's area. It's just the way it is. It's the way it is. So he's going to shoot. So he would normally get 3 orange dice. But because Hellboy's in there an additional 1, he's going to go downgrade 1 to a yellow. Which is it's just the way it is. There's nothing you can do. So let's see what we can do with Johan. So 2 goes away, which means we've done 1 damage on it. Resilience of 5. Nada. Nothing. Okay. We've rolled for Abe. He's not come back. No rest phase, no doom phase. We go into the end phase, which means everybody gets their bits and bobs back. Should roll for that Inferno, really. Goes away. Because it could spread, I suppose. And then we go into the enemy phase. Which, obviously, we start off with Big Daddy. So let's see what he does. Seize agent. The boss makes a melee attack against an agent in their area using target priority if necessary. Put this card into play next to the agent's board. Whilst this card is there, the agent can only make fight actions. These must target the boss. If the boss suffers 3 or more damage from a single attack, discard this card. Otherwise, discard this card. So it's going to make a melee attack, which is 10. Johan he's got a defense of orange. Has got a defense of orange. He's on 1 health left face down and then 4 face up. I'm going to spend 2 of his upgrading 2 dice to red. I've got to. So let's see what that does. You can spend, just before I roll that, you can only upgrade 1 dice once. Yeah, you can only upgrade 1 dice once, but you can upgrade more than 1 dice. Yeah. So let's do that. A melee attack of 10. Oh, you're joking. 3 times on the bounce. 3 times on the bounce in the boss encounter did we roll the catastrophe. So that 2 gets taken away. So we negate 2, which is going to be more than enough to wipe Johan out. So he puts those 4. So 1 down. He takes 8, which is going to flip him all over. So he's going to get minus on defense, minus on defense, minus on defense, and minus on observation. And he is knocked out. We'll take him off the board. We'll put him there. We'll put a cube on there so we know where he is. So Johan is currently being waved around by the tentacles of Sadhu Ham, completely knocked out. Then we're going to go with so Johan actually would be the last the last target. Hellboy's going to go to the front because he's the last man standing. So now 3 monsters. Now he counts as 4 in the area, 5. So there's 5 in that area at the moment. So we start off with a rampaging frog monster because it's minion B, and he doesn't have a ranged attack, so he's going to go into there, which is 6, 4, 5, 6, which is the maximum we can have in there. And he's going to attack. He's going to attack Hellboy for an attack of 5. So Hellboy gets orange and his defense. He's got 1 face-up space left and then 6 to turn over. Going to spend 1 action cube upgrading one of those to a red and leave him 2 red blades, and then otherwise it's game over. So let's see. Trying to negate 5. Just 2, so that's 4, 5 and a blank, so we've negated all 5. Now the way I'm reading this is because the remaining rampaging frog monster can't go into that space, and he's got no melee attack, so he's just going to stay there. The armed frog monster again has only got a melee attack and he can't go into that space, so he's not going to attack. And then this dude here is going to use all of his actions to come through the portal, as it were, or the cellar door. I think that's fair, because I can't fit them all in there. I could be gaming it, I don't know. It'd be nice for you guys and girls to let me know whether I got it right or not, or whether I'm being a bit gamey on that. So that was the enemy phase. We then go into the agents phase. First of all, let's see how Abe gets on. Does he get up? No blanks. All blanks. And then let's see if Johan gets up. No blanks. Oh, sorry. Now, I did roll it. You heard the roll. I've got no blanks for Johan. I rolled all blanks for Abe, who was the guy I did want to get up. So let's see what we do when we get up from the confrontation. So the agent is returned to the area of the board in which their action cube was and remove the cube. Now does he's still tricky. Does he still count as being in that space? Because he would have been able to move in otherwise. I'm not saying... That's tricky. Okay, well I'm going to again be gamey, so you couldn't have moved in there because he was still counted as being in there. He then moves back in, refreshes it as if it's the end phase, and he's back in the game. He's just going to be supporting Hellboy, to be honest with you. That's all we can do. So anyway, that's that. Might have got this wrong, but you know, is what it is. It's fun. It's just fun. It's just a Sunday morning fun and games. So we get to go with Hellboy now, who's got 2 attacks, and they are going to be the Ancient Blade. So 1, we know it's going to be 2 red and a black, because that's what the Ancient Blade gives him. Johan is going to spend 1 of his action cubes to give him an additional black. Let's see if Hellboy can do what Hellboy does. We get a ×2 or BPRD would be awesome here. 13 health left on the tentacles of Sadahim. Got a ×2. That is awesome. We've got a ×2. So that is going to go to 8, 10, 12. So 8, 10, 12. We know it's got a resilience of 5. So that's going to be 7 wounds. So 13 is down to 6 for his first attack. That's Hellboy's first attack. His second attack is going to be a relic blade again. So 3 red dice, 1 upgrading to a black for the relic blade, and Johan is going to step in there and help him out again and give him another black dice. And this is it. This is the boy. Can we do it? We've got the BPRD. We have got the BPRD, which doubles this one to 6. It's going to be the same thing. We're going to turn that to a -2. So we've got 6 in the bag already, plus another 6 is 12, 13, 14, 15, -5. That's 10 wounds. He's only got 6 left. He is dead. Tentacles are dead. And that is hopefully missing persons. Blimey, that was getting a bit sketchy towards the end there. That was getting very sketchy. I've probably played a load of stuff wrong in this one. You know, when you're playing on your own, you've got 3 characters, do the best you can, just have fun. My apologies if I have made any really howling errors. I don't think I have, but you know, it's all part of the fun. Currently painting these up. Get this bad boy on the painting table. It'd be nice to paint up like that. It's a lovely model. But I hope you enjoyed this second case file from Hellboy. Looking towards the future, I've got some plans for certainly some Arkham Horror LCG. I love that game. Be a good game to get on the table and record. Trying to do as much with you know, recording without too much editing, so there's multiple camera angles and stuff, so it helps, you know, the flow of the game. But hopefully you're enjoying the layout. Hopefully you're enjoying seeing the cards and the models. But again, let me know any feedback. Hope you like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. It would be really helpful and useful. Just starting out, so it would be good to see and get some constructive and positive feedback. But anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one.